What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Colorado Cars. Today we have my daily driver, this 2016 BMW X5 xDrive 35i. Today I'm going to show you around the outside, the inside, and we're going to take you for a drive in it. I'm going to tell you just why I got rid of my Range Rover Sport to get this car. Let's get started. Walking around the interior car, you can see that it has been completely updated since the last generation. That's one of the main reasons I bought it. I've had 3 other X5s. They were all the E70 chassis, which is the one right before this. This is known as the F15 chassis, and they completely redid the whole car back in 2014. One of the main reasons I bought this car, one of the boxes that it checked, was the full LED adaptive headlights. $2,500 option from the factory, and they tie the whole car together. Many people probably wouldn't notice them if you're not obvious, but it really ties the whole car together for me. Moving more into the center of the grille, you'll see this camera right here. That gives me a 360-degree view, so when I'm parking or doing anything that I need to see all around my car, I can see it on my iDrive screen. We'll show you a clip of that in a few seconds. Going down even lower, you'll see this radar right here. That's known as BMW's ACC stop and go. So basically what that does, I set it on the inside, and it will follow the car right ahead of me. I can set the distance, I can set how fast I want to go, and one of the best things about it that's different than other adaptive cruise control systems is if I set it in there and a car in front of me comes to a stop, at a stoplight say, it'll completely stop my vehicle too, and then once they go again, it'll go again. So it's a really, really high-tech system for 2016. It is absolutely awesome. It works great. And now let's just keep on walking around the side. This trim level is known as the X line, so it's the more off-roady one. You can tell that by the black trim. These rims aren't stock. I just put these on, got them at Discount Tire. I think they really complete the look of the car. We also got cameras from the 360 in the bottom of the mirrors. Moving back even further, you'll see the running boards. That's another option that this car came with. And then moving all the way into the back, you'll see just more LED lights, LED license plate lights, parking sensors, pretty much everything that you would expect on an $80,000 SUV. One of my favorite things about this car is that they made everything LED. So there's not one light on this car that's not an LED, which is a big deal to me. I just think halogen looks so outdated. And so that's one of the reasons that this car ticked all my boxes. Now let's move on to the inside. I'm going to show you more on why I bought this car and got rid of my Range Rover. So I'm not going to bore you with all the packages this car has, but one of the first ones that is notable, and it's part of the executive package, is the soft closed doors. So if you don't close your door all the way, it'll just suck itself right in. Getting even in further, you'll see that it has the extended leather package. So that means you have leather on your doors, a full leather dashboard right there. And then also, that's also part of the executive package. And then the last thing is the heated and cooled seats right here. They both work really well. Right in the center, you have your iDrive screen. So that's where you have all of your navigation, your maps, your destinations. You got radio with Sirius and satellite. You got Bluetooth audio, pretty much everything you would expect. Right here is your BMW safety. So if you look in that, you can see that you have frontal collision, pedestrian warning, lane departure warning, and your blind spot detection. All of that is configurable. Moving down, you have all of your HVAC controls, all pretty standard. Your radio controls, pretty standard for any BMW. If any of you want to see more on just exactly how all these controls work, just let us know in the comments and we can get that done for you. Moving over into the center gauge, you have really nothing too out of the ordinary. You have part of the adaptive LED packages, automatic high beams. So if you push that on at night, it will turn on your high beams when it doesn't see any cars coming. You got a little camera mounted up in the mirror up there. Moving down to the center, it's like any standard BMW really. You have your iDrive controller, so this just is what you use to control pretty much everything in your car. Your gear shift, so it's pretty easy. If you guys haven't seen a BMW gear shift before, basically what you do is you just push this button and you can go forward and backwards. Your parking brake, auto hold, which is a great feature. Traction control off. You have your different sport mode, or your different driving modes, which show up on that screen right there. So you got comfort, sport, and eco, pro. Moving further down, you got your parking sensors. So once it pops up, oh, my door's closed. Let me close that door. you can see that I have a 360-degree view right there. Ryan, I guess, must have the key, but 360-degree, you can see Ryan right there. I'll open it back up, and then when you push the little camera, that gives you a front view. Ryan runs up there, you can see that he's all the way in front of the car. When you're pulling out of intersections, it will show up with little alerts if there's cross traffic coming, and it also works when you're in reverse. So if I put it in reverse, push that button, I get a 180-degree angle of all the rear, and it will show me with little alerts on each side if traffic's coming. Moving over to the steering wheel again, here's where you set all your adaptive cruise control. So when you turn it on, you get a little red light in there, and then that's your distance and the speed. And that's pretty much it on the inside. It's pretty simple, but it has all the features that you could ever want. This leather, like I said, it's the extended leather package. So I have 24-way seats, leather everywhere. They really did a great job with this car. So that's another reason why I chose to get rid of my Range Rover Sport over this. Let's go ahead and take it for a drive, and we'll tell you how we like it. We don't have to start right now. Let's get out of this church parking lot. All right. So we are driving the X5 now. Ryan and I are both going to drive it and give different impressions. We kind of have some different driving styles.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn.
Okay, I don't know what to say.
Don't say yeah.
Okay, go.
Yeah. We're pulling out of the church parking lot that we were just shooting in, and we're gonna just go ahead and take you guys on a drive in the X5. We're gonna give you. So we're both gonna. Okay. We just pulled out of the church parking lot that we. Okay. Cut. We just pulled out of the church parking lot that we were filming in, and we're both gonna drive it and just kind of give you some driving impressions. Ryan and I have, I guess, both different driving styles, right?
Yeah, I mean, this car is so much different from the previous generations of X5 when it comes to handling and everything.
So you have an E70,
yeah,
right?
I have a 2007 3.0 SI X5.
Okay.
Which is incredibly slow, but it does handle nicer than this.
And that's the same engine as this has, but this one's has the... Okay. Great. So when you're driving this, how do you feel it's different than your car?
Handling's a lot lighter and it's a lot quicker, definitely. I mean, going over turns, the body roll is definitely more noticeable. Yeah. But otherwise, it's a much better car.
But you have adaptive drive, right?
I do have adaptive drive, yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, adaptive drive, basically you have dampeners in all four corners of the suspension, and that helps keep your body roll to a minimum, which is really great. I wish I had it. I'm going to put on new shocks, I think, instead. What would you say in terms of power, though?
Power, it's great. Okay. From your old 50i, it's definitely not as fast as that, but
right, for
daily driving, it's perfect.
Yeah, so I had a 50i. It's a 4.4 liter V8 twin turbo. It was in the shop all the time.
How much warranty work did you get done on that?
So on that, my warranty company paid out over 25 grand, which is insane.
And how much work have you done on this?
All I've done on this so far is $1,800 to have all the fluids changed. So pretty easy. What about you? How's your car held up?
So I had to replace the oil pan on mine, and that was it. It has like 96,000 miles on it, so it's held up pretty great. Okay. There's a clunk in the front right shock, but
yeah. So that could be something with the CV boot, something simple, just maintenance. Well, I absolutely love driving this car. The power is incredible. I have to say, have it tuned by BPM Sport. If you're looking for a tune for any BMW or any retrofits for your BMW, hit up Mike at BPM Sport. He'll get you taken care of. He's awesome, and he's a good friend of mine. So that's just a little plug right there.
I mean, overall, this car drives great, and I think it drives way better than the last generation.
What do you think about the steering, though?
I do love how light it is because it makes it so much easier to drive.
Even though, so a lot of BMW fanatics were really pissed, though, that they got rid of the hydraulic steering and went to electrics, which is what this has.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just so much easier to drive, which is nice.
So do you feel stable around corners, though? Like if you were going
You definitely have body roll, but you do feel stable in it.
And going straight, going fast,
yeah,
you don't feel like you're moving all over the road?
No, you feel good.
Because the 3 Series, I kind of thought did that.
Yeah. But if you put it in sport mode, then the steering stiffens up.
Yeah. Cool. Well, my driving impressions are I drive this car every single day. I love this car. It has plenty of power. Would I like a 50i? Yes. But you know what? I've had the 50i, and the thing I really miss is the exhaust note. This has a good exhaust, but you can't ever emulate a V8, you know?
You can't, no.
I mean, and if I straight piped this, it would just sound like a straight pipe straight 6, which would be terrible. So I have thought about putting the M Performance exhaust on it. It's like $1,200, but I don't know if I want to spend the money. But yeah, do you want to drive now?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, we just switched seats. Ryan's gonna go ahead and drive the X5 and give us his impressions, because he daily drives an older X5. So,
I mean, what I noticed from driving this car is how
okay, going down a one-way, but
yeah,
that's cool.
What I noticed from driving this car is how comfortable you feel. It's definitely more like a Range Rover in that sense compared to old X5s.
So we just drove it 8 hours to Omaha, Nebraska. A beautiful, really plush state.
It really is a great state. A lot of views on that drive.
Yeah, tons of mountains.
A lot of mountains.
Kansas is absolutely gorgeous, I would say.
All of the states in that area.
Yeah, really. If you're looking for a beautiful place to move, I would say Omaha. But anyways, we went out, 8 hours drive there, 8 hours drive back to help our brother move into his new apartment. And it handled like a beast, don't you?
It really did. The adaptive cruise control is so nice on those long drives.
It is so nice. And I actually got pulled over using adaptive cruise control. We'll put a little clip in right now. But one of the main things I noticed is that I didn't have any worries about taking this across the country. I mean, the straight 6 has been around forever. The turbocharged straight 6 has been around since
almost 9 years.
Yeah, 2011.
Years,
so
9 years.
They have it pretty down, don't you think?
Yeah, it's just a great car to drive. It's very comfortable. It handles nice. Not as good as the last generation, but it does handle nice still.
But I think if I had gotten one with like the
staggered wheels.
Yeah, if my wheels were staggered, which I didn't want because tires end up costing $1,300 every 6 months. But if I had gotten that, and probably, I think it's MPPK, which is something to do with the performance package and the suspension, it would drive more like
definitely
yours.
Would.
But number one, this car checked all my other boxes, and I didn't really feel like I needed that. And number two, I love the color combination, all the packages this has. But in terms of reliability, I would not, so we have a Range Rover that we drive for work. I would not feel comfortable getting up and driving that across the country, would you?
Well, after what happened last night, definitely.
Yeah, so last night, we'll put in another clip right now. I was merging onto the highway in a Range Rover, and it just completely died. Luckily, I made it off to the side of the road, called a flatbed. It's sitting at Land Rover Denver right now. I am awaiting their call to tell me how much I'm gonna have to pay to get it fixed, but we'll do another video on that. But overall, you like driving this car?
Overall, I'd definitely buy this car. It's great to drive.
And what about in comparison to your car?
Definitely a lot better, just because of the engine.
So it's purely a speed thing. So if you could put this engine in your car with your adaptive drive,
I'd still take this car because it's newer, but yeah.
And what's your favorite feature?
It has to be the adaptive cruise control.
Yeah, it's a great feature. It's one of my favorites. That and the cooled seats. I think that's a must-have. Now that I've had it on a few cars, let's turn those on. Now that I've had it on a few cars, I feel like I can't ever go back.
Yeah, definitely.
Same with the blind spot monitors. I mean, once you have that on a car, you really can't go back.
I think you can, but yeah.
Well, maybe you're just a better driver than I am.
Probably.